Welcome back, everybody, to another podcast with the Breakdown. And today we're going to be talking about money tips and also the root of all evil, as y'all may know already. Money, cash flow. Just sharing with y'all a couple of tips that I've picked up along the way that I've been using to my advantage to help me with my finances and also kind of relieve that stress of, where's my next bill going to get paid from or things like that. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet on iTunes podcast, you could do us a big, huge favor. Subscribe, review, rate it, and, just share it amongst your coworkers, your peers, your friends, your family, whatever it might be. And also, YouTube is an option if you want to check us out on YouTube. Also, we're on Spotify, so multiple ways that you can hear us and multiple ways that, you can share it with your friends. And once again, to all our listeners out there, thank you so much. Really, the gratitude that I want to pour out to y'all is words can't describe. So really, once again, thank you so much for supporting and, sharing and, really just taking the time out of your day to listen to a quick, 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever long it may be. All right. So money. Really, there is so many aspects of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive deep into the first one. Budgeting. Budgeting is a really, really, really important step towards, really getting all your finances together, making sure how much money you're bringing in every month, and also how much of that is your expenses, whether it be your bills, utilities, or just, everyday things that you might need, such as gas or food, and, just making sure that you don't go past what you make. You always make sure that you don't spend too much and you save a lot. Like I said, it's a motto that I go by. Really, I like to, whatever, besides the fact that I had to pay my bills, putting that on the side. I spent maybe about 30%, and then I saved 70%. And this is after, like I said, after all my bills are taken out and everything. So yeah, budgeting, get you a little notebook that, or just a calendar that has everything listed from whenever it's due. And also so you can keep track of that. It makes you feel good whenever you know that, okay, this bill is due next week. I already have the money for it. Let me just go ahead and put it on the side. That way I don't spend it and I won't touch it. And it really keeps you, ahead of yourself from overspending. So once you have your budget made up and you have all the numbers lined up, now you can start focusing on where you could cut back, where you are doing the most spending, and how you can reduce that number. That way you have more money at the end of the month to either invest, or if you like to save it, save it in your savings account, whatever it might be. But just as long as you're not spending it and you're paying yourself at the end of the month. So what I like to do with my money is, like I said, I like to invest it, whether it be in myself, whether it be in stocks, certain dividends, things that pay out either quarterly, semi-annually, or in any type of business that you have interest in and that you want to continue and make something out of that. In today's world, you have so many things. You have so much access to different things that can help you out and really make a big change. Back in the day, our parents didn't have these type of things. Acorn is a good app that shows you multiple portfolios that you can either invest in, or if you want to buy a stock into either Coca-Cola, Apple, or a bunch of different things. There's so many things on there. Or if you're into day trading, I know a couple of people that do day trading, and it's really, really successful for them. It takes a lot of time, to master your skill, your technicals, your analysis, and everything. But once you put in that work, it's going to pay out way more. It's going to 10x it. If you want to go big, you have real estate, you don't need so much capital in order to, start out with a small property. If you're not aware, the city of Fort Worth has auctions where they auction off foreclosed homes, and what that means is these are homes that have been taken up by the bank because their original owner couldn't pay the taxes on it. So now it has owed back taxes on the house. So the bank just wants something for that house. They don't just want to completely have a total loss. So what they do is they auction these houses off at a really, really low price. And if you're smart enough, you check out that house, that you want to invest in it, that you can maybe possibly flip it for something else, then that's really where, you could spend maybe 10 grand and then automatically go back and flip it for 30 once you either renovate it, or if it's good to go, then you could just automatically open your doors. Like I said, these auctions happen every Tuesday and Thursday. You could go down to the old courthouse, get you a $25 pamphlet book. It shows you all the properties that are going to be up in the auction in the next couple of days. And I do suggest that if you're going to do this, you get that pamphlet, you go to those locations, you check them out. You can't really go inside, but you could peek through the window and just kind of like, see the condition of it, the outside, what it looks like, and just kind of see the potential that it has. I was having a conversation the other day with my barber, and he was telling me about, buying an ATM and just placing it in his barbershop. So whenever somebody doesn't have cash on them, just offer them your ATM, just kind of give that demand. That way they could use your product. Or you don't specifically have to get an ATM. There are vending machines. You could buy a vending machine, and it's all about location, where you place it, where you feel like it's going to generate a lot of revenue. And that's where, you kind of have to really crack down and do your history and see what locations are popping. Right now, I know Clear Fork is one of those locations that is up and coming. Maybe, I want to say about 2 years ago, a lot of those restaurants that are there weren't. And they've taken off pretty good. I remember when Macedo first opened, it wasn't too expensive. It was okay for the location that it was in. And the food servings were okay. And also the drink servings were okay. And fast forward to, 6 months ago, the plate portions have gotten smaller. The drinks have gotten way smaller in serving size. And not to mention that the price went up. Why? Because of your location. The type of customers that they bring in is top value, top notch clients. So of course, they're gonna, I would think, take advantage of that and say, just, well, they could afford to get a second plate or, 3 more drinks. So, creating that demand and then, giving people your product. So, like I said, once you have your budget and you get the numbers lined up, then you do your cutting back. And then once you get your cutbacks, and then you find an area where you can invest that money, now you have something going for yourself. Now you got something that you have, either a side hustle or, just another source of income that you have created for yourself. It's all about creating different types of income revenue, whether it be your, if you have a 9-to-5 job, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a businessman, that's always going to be your number one source of income. And what you do with that, whether you create more, like I said, either a side hobby or, whether it be you buying an ATM or a vending machine or creating real estate, or, there's so many different things out there that you could create as a source of income. On average, a millionaire has about 7 of them. And what he does is, from your first revenue, create a different source, and then so on and so on. Just, all the money that you earn just go ahead and reinvest it in yourself. And then along the way, you're going to slowly and shortly, you're going to start, seeing the process, the income and everything. And like I said, just, you have to be patient. It's not going to happen from one night to the next. You're going to have to take about maybe a good year to actually start seeing, all that coming back, all that revenue. Or if you're in it for, long-term investing, buying stocks, holding the stock, just collecting that over time. You got to find stocks that are going to pay out dividends, and then how much do they pay out and how often do they pay out? That right there's another source of income, even though it might not be monthly or weekly, it's still there. It's still coming in just like clockwork. And that's really the goal here, creating passive income, lucrative royalties, like I said, dividends, whatever it might be that doesn't call for so much work, but rather than just a one-time thing, and then just, like I said, like clockwork, just getting paid for that one time that you did it. Whether it be a web blog, you quickly set up a website, you publish a blog, you get numerous traffickers through that website, and then now you're able to monetize it. Now you're able to put ads on there. Now you're able to get something out of a free content that you created for people just to look at. By the amount of people that click on this website, now you have maybe 1,000 viewers per day. And you have ads that are paying you out to, $100 for every 1,000 viewers that, or every 1,000 people, traffickers that come through your website. Now you created another source of income. Or if you're doing drop shipping, whether it be Shopify, just making that extra connection for somebody that is looking for a product, but they don't know where to get it or how to get it. You're kind of playing the third man in that, and you just set up that deal. Times are changing, and also the demand in different areas is changing. A lot of demand in Photoshop, in webbing and coding, also in audio engineering, public speaking. If you know of an influencer, or if you are one, get paid for what you're doing on social media in real life. Contact these different conventions that come in and out of our city, and just say, hey, do you need somebody that could generate a lot of people to come to your event? Let's say I take a percentage of how many people I bring in. If you're interested in that convention or whatever it might be, and you're already going to go, you might as well invite people to go with you and then get paid for inviting them. Now, a big tip that I do want to share with y'all, and you might have your different thoughts about this, it's where you place your money after it's been made, after you reinvested it and everything. Where should it stay? Of course you want to keep it in a bank where you can have easy access to it, whether for your everyday spending or whatever it might be. You have your bank, and then besides that, you have it stored in different places. Don't put your money all in one place. Have it spread out in different accounts. And like I said, it's okay to have it in one bank account where you could just take all that daily spending, and then have another account, let's say an investing account. You have a portfolio going, you're putting in maybe about $100 every month, and then those $100 are worked constantly. Let's say you do it for 12 months straight. That's $1,200 that you feel like it's gone forever, but it's just sitting there working for you, creating compound interest. So place a little bit of money in there. So now you have your money stored in 2 accounts. And then, like I said, buy stocks. Buy a certain amount of stocks every month. Let's say you start off with $20. And, those $20 are going to go a long way for every time that you add it. And now, looking back maybe 20 years from now, you're going to generate a good amount of interest. And let's say that product or whatever that stock may be just, for some odd reason just skyrockets up and the price is tremendously high. Now you could just sell out, or if you're smart, buy more and just, contribute from that. The idea is to have your money working for you while you sleep, instead of just sitting in a bank account somewhere where the bank is collecting all that interest off of your money, when it could be the other way around. It could be you collecting all that interest off of your money. Really what the bank does is, whenever you have a check, let's say you just got paid Friday, right? And you take your check to the bank. Bank tells you, okay, it'll be available to you the next 2 business days. Well, in those 2 business days, guess what they're doing? They collected your money. They're sending it off to different people that need loans or whatever it might be for business or anything like that. And they're collecting interest off of those 2 days that you have to wait to use your money. How is that right? So I'm just sharing with y'all something that I feel everybody should know. And, instead of having the banks take advantage of you, you take advantage of this system that they gave us and buy your stocks, or put it in an account that is actually gonna make money for you. Now let's go ahead and talk about credit, because credit is one of those things that it's gonna take you a long way in this world, especially when you're talking about business or owning anything or making any type of big purchase. So for starters, if you don't have any type of credit, or you have a low credit score, or it's just in the process of, fixing it, what I do suggest is, I know a lot of you may not like this idea, but, I would get credit cards, and I would use them for, things that you use every day, gas, food, and as soon as you make those purchases, take that money out of your checkings or savings or whatever it might be, put it somewhere where you're not going to spend it. And once that bill is due, go ahead and pay it all in full. And then now you're going to see your credit score go up more fast, or should I say faster than normal, because you're using it and you're paying off your balance in full. So now the bank sees that you have credit history, and now you also have payment history. You're on time. You pay it off in full, and that helps you in the long run, because let's say you want to take out a $10,000 loan, and the history that you have is using it and then paying it back in full on time. That's going to look good on anybody's credit. Also, start off with semi-big purchases. Let's say you need a new kitchen appliance, or a new washer and dryer, whatever it might be. Don't go, automatically into a car, or can't think of anything else right now. But yeah, don't jump into a super big purchase like that. I'd say do something small, pay that off, have that on your history report, on your history that checks your balances and your payments and everything, and then work your way up to those big purchases. Because what you're doing then is you're saving yourself from high interest levels on a big purchase. So let's say you do get a car and you don't have that history, so now your interest rate is going to be anywhere between 8 to 16%, when if you would have done a smaller purchase, made that history, and possibly getting it to 6% or 4%. But with a credit card, it comes with big responsibility, so you have to have really good self-control of your spending. Whenever I first got my first credit card, I balled out. I'm not gonna lie. I spent money on so much unnecessary stuff, so much clothes that I didn't need, and for what? Really, it didn't benefit me in any way. So have real good self-control. And if you have a really hard time understanding credit and how it works and the best ways that you can help yourself, Bank of America has a kind of like a little mini school that kind of teaches you about it and tells you multiple tips that's going to help you out. in the long run. So I do suggest checking that out. It's on their website. Just go to bankofamerica.com. And I think it's somewhere between education on a drop down list on something like that. Little side things that could make you some money, like I said, is public speaking. If you already do it on social media, or you just enjoy doing it, like I said, just find ways to get paid for it. Also, if you're really big on Instagram, find products that you can model for, or that you can sponsor, whatever it might be. You have a big audience, a big community. Take advantage of that. Monetize your day-to-day content, whatever it might be. Put ads on there, create clickbait, generate a lot of traffic, and then generate that revenue. And if you're real smart with computers and to coding, make digital products, things that you know how to do. Make a software, make a program, sell it to people, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a bunch of revenue from that. Or if you want to be the next inventor, and I'm not talking about reinventing the wheel, just making the wheel better, whatever it might be, making physical products that are going to change the way that we do our day-to-day lives. Affiliate products. So like I was saying, whenever you do an affiliate marketing or anything like that, you're basically just creating that sale or that connection to somebody else. You have a product that not necessarily you sell, but you post it on your page or you post it on your social media. Now you have people that want to buy that product. They've been wanting to buy that product. They just never knew it existed, or they've never found a way that they could get their hands on it. So what you're doing is creating that connection for them, from the seller to the buyer. And yeah, you get paid a commission off of that. Coaching, whether it be fitness, life, different things, I see a bunch of people that do online programs for losing weight, fitness programs, and that's something that's really smart, because if you already have an amazing physique, use that to your advantage to show people how you got that and make them interested into actually wanting to do the hard work to earn that body. And if you're into publishing, writing books, reading, make up your own short story, sell it on Amazon, make yourself an ebook, and create that passive income for yourself. A lot of people that I associate myself with are around the 21 to 27 age range. And really, when I talk to these people, they don't think about the future. They don't think about 10 years into the future. They're more so thinking about now and how to get by now, when really I feel like you should be thinking for the future. How you're gonna sustain a family, how you're gonna get all the things that you want to accomplish in life. And that's where my mentality and my mindset is right now, is making sure that all the sacrifices that I'm doing now are going to pay out, are going to be worth it in the end, 10, 15 years from now. So that's really the goal with all of this, just kind of helping y'all out with your 10-year, your 5-year, your 8-year, whatever it might be, just making sure you have a plan, put into action, follow it, stay to it. And, hopefully once you get to that age, you're somewhere better than where you originally thought of, or, are on your way to. So in summary, finding ways to earn money. And if you want to save it, go ahead and save it. If not, use it to your advantage and invest it. Build it, talking credit wise, and make something out of it. So once you have your credit, use that credit to your advantage and make something out of your credit score, whether it be, applying for a business loan, or, purchasing a house, or, purchasing property, whatever it might be. And most importantly, don't just hold on to it. Don't just think because you're making so much money and you're just putting it in a bank account, you're big balling now. Just take it one step further, big balling now, and then make it into M's. Invest it into different things, study all the greats, study all the big business entrepreneurs out there. For example, Jay-Z, that was a drug dealer, turned into a rapper, now turned into one of the biggest entrepreneurs that we know in our day. And why? Just because, his strategy of doing business with so many people, and just investing in the right products, and just knowing what's next. A big deal for me was getting out of working a 9 to 5. I was tired of working for another person, making another person richer, and working for their dreams instead of mine. Really, I was just thinking, like, well, if somebody has, so many people working for them, then why can't I do the same? Why can't I come up with a business plan that's gonna, take me to the next level, hire some workers that are gonna do the same thing that I'm doing for this person? What's stopping me from doing that? Really, once you get out of that boat is once you start seeing where the opportunity to make money is at. It's everywhere. It's everywhere around us, whether it be, like I said, entrepreneur, doing the actual networking and talking to people and having multiple connections, or whether it be doing anything online. So much business opportunity is available online. So if you have the same mindset as me, you want to stop working for somebody, start working for yourself. I would suggest you first start off with a plan. Have your business plan made out, whether that's your startup cost, upfront, how much is it going to take you to actually get this up and running before you actually some type of dollar revenue. And secondly, what's your brand name? What's your logo going to be? What's your color going to be? You have to take in consideration these things because they're big. Whenever you see something like McDonald's or Starbucks, those are big names. Also, because of the brand, the logo is something simple, and the colors mean so much. Whenever you're thinking of a color scheme that you want, you have to study the colors and see what color affects what mood, and what does it get people to think. And then also a brand motto. What's this company gonna go based off of? What's your core values, your ethical values, and why, most importantly, why are people going to want to invest into this company? So once you have those things, now you could start looking for investors. Now you could start talking about this idea and finding more help to get this up and running. I get it. I'm super prideful. Everybody wants to do it on their own. Everybody wants to be self-made. And I understand that. But at the same time, you need connections. You need multiple people that know different people that might help you get into that field. So, talking to different investors, talking to different people that have the same type of mindset as you or the same type of idea is really important, because now you've created a team. Now you've created this structural foundation of people like you, and that it's going to go a long way because they all share the same values, the same views. For example, like Dreamville, you have a bunch of people just like J. Cole. They don't want to be on top of one another. They want to shine together as a big team. And what happened? They stayed down and now they blew up with their Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Nobody knew about 1 or 2, but everybody listened to 3. Why? Because of how they did it, how the recording sessions went down, the way that Cole invited so many people to come out to this one studio for 10 days to record everything for this one album. There was never been anything like that. There's never been that type of mass production and amount of people gone into one studio and made so many different songs. I think there was about 17 recording sessions going on at the same time, if not less than that. It's crazy. So that's a prime example that I give, because that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to create a team just like Dreamville, and I'm taking their blueprint and I'm running with it. Everybody that knows me personally knows this as a fact. Alright guys, so like I said, just a couple of things that I feel might help you out. Just a couple tips that I want to share with y'all to hopefully make your life easier with understanding everything that, not everything that has to do with money, but understanding how you can make certain opportunities for yourself. And hopefully, you know, like I said, this knowledge sparks something in you, or it changes something that you were doing differently. Hopefully it benefits you and your family in any type of way. And if it does work in your favor, you know, just write me a little comment or send me a message just letting me know the difference that it made for you, or if you think of anything else that maybe I should have included. You know, just go ahead and send me a message, and I like to listen and on the feedback that you guys give me. And thank you once again for listening to the breakdown.